Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play of Metal Gear Solid 3. So once again, this is my first time doing a Let's Play ever. And along with that, I just wanted to say bear with me if I make any sort of technical mistakes, because up until a few days ago, I've never seen a capture card in my life before. I've only ever heard about it from other Let's Players while they're commentating and talking about their experience with adjusting all their equipment and setup. So I'm still learning. If you guys have any advice, feel free to give me whatever tips you got. So with this file that I'm playing here, I'm playing off on normal difficulty with like New Game Plus cleared data and everything. The reason why I want to use a New Game Plus file rather than a new file straight off like with nothing at all is because I want to show off as much content as I can with this game, with some of the special items and weapons, and sort of talk a little bit about them if I can, and whenever I get the chance. So along with this YouTube channel, what I'm sort of hoping to do with the games that I Let's Play and whatever guides I post is to inspire older generations to get into gaming. Hence why this is sort of a project that I wanted to dedicate to my dad and everything. And I also want to sort of show what the younger generation missed out on, since, as I said before, I talked to a lot of my friends who some of them were born around the same time I was, but they just never really got to experience this game, because my gaming experience, I sort of grew up with friends who were older than me, and they sort of like showed me the ropes on a lot of like pretty cool games and whatnot. Okay, so we got enemies up ahead.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting
So for you guys who are playing this
Survival
for the
Viewer.
first time,
The
you'll be
uniform
jumping
option
back
lets you
and
pick your
forth
uniform,
through
while
the
face
camouflage
option lets
menu
you
a
change your
lot.
face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your
So
surroundings will
I'll
help
give
you conceal
you a few
yourself more
pointers
effectively.
on the best patterns to use.
Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle.
Yeah,
If you
that's
just
a
stand
bad
up and run
situation
around
right
like an
there.
idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index. The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
You must be the tree. Okay, so first tip I got. This is a really useful trick, but I was reading up on forums I don't know, some people think it's kind of cheap. I discovered this trick through just experimenting. However, there apparently was a YouTube video about it ages ago. I've never seen it, but to sort of talk in depth a little bit on it is there's a sniper that you can use in the game. Well, technically there are two snipers, but none of them are suppressed. So here is how you can snipe enemies with a silenced weapon. Oh, yeah, another brief trick here is always go for the guys with the radios first, so that in case something bad does happen, they can't call for backup. Oh, missed. It's a finicky trick too. See, I nailed them right in the head, but the game doesn't quite register. So, there you go. So, Metal Gear quickscoping. So it's more so a game exploit that you can use. Okay, I'm gonna quickly demo one of the best camo setups for this area if you are trying to sneak through a little bit more legit without using this little trick. You want to use leaf and woodland. See how it bumps your index up to 90%? Well, yeah, that's the best setup for if you're going and crawling around in the grass here. If you're in a more mudded area here, you want to use tiger stripe instead. So I'm just going to use this sniping trick, since if you just take out the enemies from distance, you don't really have to worry about them. And I also got a decent chunk of their patterns memorized on normal, so I've never played through this game on hard. I don't really plan on doing that. Like, one of the popular challenges that a lot of Metal Gear veterans like to go through is called a big boss run. So what that entails is finishing the game under 5 hours without killing anyone, without getting killed yourself, without using any healing items, and without getting spotted. Did I say that already? Oh, either way. Yeah, it's a tough challenge. Oh, and if you're doing it for Metal Gear Solid 3, you can't save. I've only ever done a big boss run for Metal Gear Solid 4. Okay, so there's the Hornet's Nest. I don't really use them. And this guy's none the wiser.
Come in, HQ.
What's going on? Respond.
So there you go. There's a fine example of why you want to pick out guys with radios first. And here they come. Alright, where's the other guy? They always come in pairs whenever backup comes through.
What's wrong?
Another useful trick is if you knock out enemies, they'll usually drop 2 items, but they have to be alive. If you've killed an enemy, then you only get 1 item.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
So
Is that
that's
all?
actually a mistranslation.
Understood.
It's supposed to
Beginning my
be
approach to the target.
Snake's iconic "kept you waiting, huh?" line, but that sort of got lost in translation with the script.
What's wrong?
Could you imagine that if you're just doing your job and all of a sudden somebody just like instantly passes out like that? Did I get him? Yeah, I got him. There we go. So I just picked up the shotgun. Yeah, the shotgun is easily the most OP weapon in this game in terms of like your assault weapons. I'm not going to show off right now, but I will later on. Alright, and we're in. So, if it's your first time playing through this game and you want to sneak around, my number one advice is crawl. Crawl everywhere you go. Because pretty much from Metal Gear Solid 3 and moving forward, you pretty much want to crawl because it keeps your camo index high. And you get to take your time a lot more and survey your surroundings that way. You can also apply this tactic to other stealth action games. Like I've been using a lot of crawling when I'm playing something like Ghost Recon or something like that.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of GRU. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way,
So, the whole conversation between Snake and Sokolov here was supposed to be in Russian, but obviously because the voice actors don't know Russian, that's why that line was a part of the script right there.
A frightening country.
Having second thoughts.
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
No one spotted me.
So Snake's response right here is actually dynamic, depending on whether you actually killed someone or if you got spotted.
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Oh, fatal funnel. Room clearing tip, don't ever stand in the middle of a doorway if, you're trying to tactically move around. Disclaimer, I've never been in the military, I've never served. All the military knowledge that I know is through research, so from playing Metal Gear and other military games, and there's an excellent YouTube channel called Gameology where they do get veterans to give their opinions on video games and tactics related to military shooters and whatnot. So check it out if you want to learn more about some military trivia.
Freeze!
No shit.
So this is the legendary boss.
Huh?
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
So yeah, the Metal Gear series has definitely got this level of, I guess, over-the-top, eccentric style to it, but it's a part of that nature that makes the games rather interesting and sort of humorous at times. So some of it is pretty weird, like even I sometimes question Kojima's direction for why he decides to put certain things in the game. So a little more on that whenever it comes up.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
You're not the boss, are you?
So yeah, there's an example of that eccentric style and nature to the game that I was just talking about.
What is that stance?
It's the I'm gonna whip your ass stance.
That gun?
Yeah, go on. Laugh it up. Laugh it up.
If you're not the boss, then die.
Oops. Rookie mistake.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
Woo. Good hip toss. Oh, got one more. Go to sleep. Just sleep. Sleep. Sleep.
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
So that's where that line comes in. Whenever you hear Metal Gear fans say, "You're pretty good," Yeah, it's the origin of this line of that line.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
So, as you guys all noticed, Ocelot's gun jammed in that cutscene, and there's actually more detail behind that, as we're going to give paramedic a call, and you'll see the reason behind what really happened.
The gauge below your life gauge is your stamina gauge.
Or she can just give us a tutorial on the stamina gauge. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little, a few calls to get the dialogue you want with the codecs and the radio frequency stuff. Should be this.
By the way, Snake,
Here we go.
what was that little lecture back there?
Lecture?
You were instructing the GRU commander, weren't you? Something about the first round or his hand?
Yeah.
What was that supposed to mean?
Well, whenever he put a new clip in his gun, he'd always load the first round by hand, whether there was a round left in the chamber or not. It's a technique they teach in the Middle East. By making sure there's always a round in the chamber, you eliminate the risk of pulling the trigger with nothing to fire. He must have heard about it from someone or read it somewhere. In any case, he probably wanted to try it out for himself. And he was obviously motivated by vanity to show off his new technique. That's when you make mistakes. The battlefield is an unforgiving place. The only techniques you can rely on are the ones you've mastered through experience and practice.
Uh-huh. And what were you saying about him being more suited to revolvers?
When he fired, he was bending his elbow sharply to avoid the recoil. It looked like he wasn't aware he was doing it, but that habit can be either a fatal flaw or a gift.
What do you mean?
Automatic weapons use recoil to operate, so if you don't let the recoil hit you, it interferes with the operating cycle of the gun. Basically, he shouldn't be trying to avoid the impact like that. But with a revolver, there's no need to let the recoil hit you. Just the opposite. Avoiding the recoil lets you reduce the strain on your hand and arm. That kid might just be handy with a high-caliber revolver.
Handy? Are you listening to yourself?
What do you mean?
He's the enemy. Why are you giving him advice? Snake.
I don't know. For some reason, I couldn't help but point it out to him.
Snake, are you all right?
Yeah.
You know what, paramedic? Yeah, you got a good point there. I mean, we're on a top secret mission here, right? We're not supposed to have any witnesses that see us and all, right? You know what? I think it's about time we give that shotgun a try. Since we have a few witnesses to clear out and all. Alright, well, I got an even better idea. Take out two guys with one good old-fashioned explosion. Mousetrap. Well, we don't need any mousetraps right now, but that'll be real useful later to catch a certain special type of snake. So, alright. Okay, here goes. Alright, problem solved.
Snake, you can't do it. Create a time paradox.
Damn, the plot armor is thick. Okay, so yeah, Ocelot's a important character, so you can't kill him off. He's a very important character to the series, as we'll be seeing more of him throughout the game. Anyways, that about does it for part 2 here. Stay tuned for part 3. If you guys like what you see so far, feel free to drop a like. If not, dislike. Or if you're really are interested, then feel free to subscribe. Alright, until next time, everyone.